Tonight's Tenebrae service focuses on the Via Dolorosa, which means the way or the road of the cross. Tonight we reflect on 9 different events that happened to Jesus on his way to the cross. As we watch tonight's service, we are not casual observers or distant evaluators of someone else's business. This night is given for us. We are the participants, as once again our God gives himself to us.
They went to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to his disciples, "Sit here while I pray." He took with him Peter and James and John and began to be distressed and agitated. And he said to them, "I am deeply grieved, even to death. Remain here and keep me awake." And going a little farther, he threw himself on the ground and prayed that, if it were possible, the hour might pass from him. He said, "Abba, Father, for you are all things possible. Remove this cup from me, yet not what I want, but what you want." He came and found them sleeping. Then he said to Peter, "Simon, are you asleep? Could you not keep awake 1 hour? Keep awake and pray that you may not come into the time of trial. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak." And again he went away and prayed, saying the same words. And once more he came and found them sleeping, for their eyes were very heavy, and they did not know what to say to him. He came a 3rd time and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and taking your rest? Enough! The hour has come. The Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners.
In the darkness of that night, nothing could be seen clearly. Hurt and anguish alter perceptions. Jesus, facing the hurt and anguish of this night, does not want to face the reality of it. He does not wish to fulfill the purpose for which he came into this world, and he cries out to God, "Make the pain stop. Take it away." He tries to tell his disciples, but they do not see it. They sleep unaware. Jesus tries to tell his God, but God is silent. Where is God when he needed him most? So often in the darkness of our nights, nothing can be seen clearly. Hurt and anguish alter our perceptions. Why bother? Why try? We tell others, and they may even listen politely, but they have their own lives, and they go on unaware. We try to tell our God. We cry out, "Make the pain stop, take it away." But the only response is silence. In the silence of those nights, it is not that God does not care. There is silence because there are no words to express what needs to be said. Sometimes it is in the silence we feel our God with us. Sometimes it's in the silence we hear our God cry with us.
And while they were eating, he said, "Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me." And they became greatly distressed and began to say to him, one after the other, "Surely not I, Lord." He answered, "The one who has dipped his hand into the bowl with me will betray me. The Son of Man goes as it is written of him, but woe to that one by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It would have been better for that one not to have been born. Judas, who betrayed him, said, "Surely not I, Rabbi." He replied, "You have said so."
Betray is such a nasty word. I know I am not a saint, and I know I have made my mistakes, and I will grant you that, but nothing like Judas. To betray, to take a person's trust and confidence, to turn it into hurt and pain, to take those things a person values most, to treat them carelessly, cheaply, to take the gifts someone gives, and to toss them away irreverently, that's bad. That's not me. The one who has dipped his hand in the dish with me will betray me. We've all eaten from the same dish. We all have betrayed, maybe not even meaning to. Spouse, children, ourselves, our work. And when we realize it is hard to swallow our food, sometimes it is hard to swallow our pride. But there is no room for pride tonight. Betray is such a nasty word.
While Peter was below in the courtyard, one of the servant girls of the high priest came by. And when she saw Peter warming himself, she stared at him and said, "You also were with Jesus, the man from Nazareth." But he denied it, saying, "I do not know or understand what you're talking about." And he went out into the forecourt. Then the cock crowed. And the servant girl, on seeing him, began again to say to the bystanders, "This man is one of them." But again he denied it. Then after a little while, the bystanders again said to Peter, "Surely you are one of them, for you are a Galilean." But he began to curse, and he swore an oath, "I do not know this man you're talking about." And at that moment, the cock crowed for the second time. Then Peter remembered that Jesus had said to him, "Before the cock crows twice, you will deny me 3 times." And he broke down and wept.
If you're going to survive in this world, you must learn the value of being practical. It is just common sense to know what is reasonable and what is not. There is nothing Peter can do for Jesus now. His family has gone 3 years without him. Should he leave them now as a widow and orphans? And after all, if you try something and it fails, then you pull yourself back together and you start something new. It is not practical for Peter to know this Jesus anymore. We need to learn to be practical in our lives too. Sometimes you have to overlook things or it might cost you an account. At times it's more prudent to laugh at a joke than to say it is offensive or demeaning. We need to keep certain people on our good side because we know the day will come when we need them. Sometimes you just have to give a little in order to keep peace in the family. The cock crows and Peter's yard awake. He failed to be what Christ made him, his disciples. He didn't just deny Christ, he denied himself. And he wept for what he had lost. Something jars us awake. We hear the cock crow in different ways, but each time we hear it, it shows us what we pretend to be, and what we do is not what we were created to be. We know we have not just denied Christ, we have denied ourselves. We've denied ourselves from loving God and loving one another. And we weep for what we have lost.
Then Pilate entered the headquarters again, summoned Jesus, and asked him, "Are you King of the Jews?" Jesus answered, "Do you ask this on your own, or did others tell you about me?" Pilate replied, "I am not a Jew, am I? Your own nation and the chief priests have handed you over to me. What have you done?" Jesus answered, "My kingdom is not from this world. If my kingdom were from this world, my followers would be fighting to keep me from being handed over to the Jews. But as it is, my kingdom is not from here." Pilate asked him, "Oh, so you are a king?" Jesus answered, "You say that I am a king. For this I was born, and for this I came into the world, to testify to the truth. Everyone who belongs to the truth listens to my voice." Pilate asked him, "What is truth?"
What is truth? Caiaphas, the Sanhedrin, the teachers of the law have all decided what must be done, what their truth is. Jesus must die. But there is a formality. They do not have the power to sentence a man to death. Only Rome can make life-death decisions. And so Jesus must go before Pilate. Poor Pilate. His past service to Rome is marred by serious errors in judgment. Going to Israel is Pilate's last chance to gain favor with the emperor. The last thing Pilate needs is a local squabble and rebellion. Yet there's also a sense of decency about Pilate. He knows this man, Jesus, is innocent. He seeks a way to release him. What is the truth? Again, there is silence. And in the silence, the truth is seen. Pilate, a free Roman citizen, the one with the power of life and death, is bound. He cannot release an innocent man. He is captured by his fear of making a wrong decision. He is afraid he will lose what he thinks he has. There is Jesus, bound and under Pilate's authority. And yet, he is the one that is free. Free to give himself to the world. The one who really has power over life and death. In the silence of this night, what is the truth? Are you the one who is bound? Or are you the one that is free?